Yeah, g'day, it's Jump Bunny here. I thought instead of looking at small axes, I'd bring out a couple of regular or larger axes. These are Holt's Brook and Aussie axe. This, I'll zoom it in a minute. This is a high test Challenger. These are my users. This is the first axe that I hung myself, and I used it quite happily, but then I got bitten by the axe bug and started buying more. I much prefer using this one. You can see here I have used it quite extensively, not in recent times though, because it's very hot in Queensland. You don't need a wood burner, and the damage on the handle, it doesn't bother me, because if I needed to actually I'll just put another handle on it if it ends up becoming dangerous. This is American hickory. The way the grain runs is vertically this way, so there's a whole bunch of, there's some dirt, there's a whole bunch of things you need to pay attention to. You can see here, this is my first effort at hanging. It's gone down. I tried to variously fix it. This one hasn't gone down at all. It basically doesn't move. It's very secure in the hand. What I do when I prepare the handles, and there's different, so if you're chopping wood for your wood burner or whatever you're chopping wood for at home or on the farm or whatever, I use gloves, and I prefer a smooth handle. The axemen who, I'll get to that in a subsequent video, the axemen who actually do this for competition, they obviously don't use gloves, and they have a very rough handle for grip. So it's quite different technique. I swung it above my head and almost just let the weight of the axe head, which is here 2 kilos or 4.5 pounds, let the weight of the axe head do the work. This one here, the High Test Challenger, still has some blue paint on it from when it was originally sold in the shop. The very early axes in the 1920s and 30s and 40s had labels on them. I never got into that, so I think this one here might be from geez, I don't know, the 80s, maybe the 70s. It's hard to say. I've got different examples. This is more of an embossed symbol, so that's a later axe. So they actually emboss it when it's still not molten, of course, but it's very hot. This is stamped on, so it's still hot, but it's more of a stamp. So the interesting thing about the Holt's Brook axe head is that it's 20 centimeters long. This one here is about 18. It's a different style, it's longer. I actually preferred the longer length here because it bit more into the wood, but you know, it's like neither here nor there, but just personal preference. I've done something at the end of the handle here. I've modified the end of this handle, so it's got a bit of a hook on the end, so when the axe fell at the end of its flight, I would have a stop, a bumper stop, so to speak, but it just was a style I developed, and yeah, you can see actually there's a chip off the back here. What I wanted to do was show you, if you're looking at axe heads on eBay, like I spent a lot of time doing that, this is an example of what not to buy. Someone's taken to this with an angle grinder, right? And that's basically, it ruins the heat treatment. You see there's a bit of rust on this. That's part of the other reason to get the axes out and do a video, so I can make sure they're not all rotting away in the Queensland humidity. You see those ripples there? Someone's taken to this with an angle grinder. That is absolutely 101. Do not do that. This is a Kelly handmade carpenter's axe. It's flat on this side. You can see the top. This is the original handle. It's still solid as, so it's not 100%. It's a nice axe head, but I couldn't quite pick up in the eBay photos. Somebody's taken this with an angle grinder. That's not how you do it. You've got to use stones. You can file it as well, so I have done that, but you can file it as long as you don't raise the temperature on the axe head. Then that's the important thing. Yeah, so this is the first one that I hung. Once again, the feels in the hand. Yeah, I don't quite like the feel. This one, I love the feel. It's just different. You're dealing with wood, which is once living material. It's highly personalized. This is glass smooth. I sanded this for hours, and then you wet it. You get the pores of the wood up. You sand it back against the grain, and you can probably see. Not that way. It's quite long. Can we see this? Sorry, no, can't see it. Anyway, the grain runs down the handle this way, so I think that's a video fail there. All right, hopefully that was interesting. I'll see you on the next one.